Did your team do that today?
Yeah, I thought Quebec played extremely well. We got fortunate, and they had a double for two to take back the lead, and that's what I wanted. Though I wanted them to play us hard, and they did. We played some really precise shots, especially late in the game, and that was perfect. Just I wanted to be pushed. Like today's a day I didn't want to take off, and just to be pushed like that, and we thought they would play well. That's the best thing for us right now at this stage because we got a little bit of a rest here. We're not playing tonight, so just I wanted to feel like we had to really earn it today.
And now flip the page to the playoffs. You got a buzz in the building this afternoon. You heard the crowd roaring. Do you revel in these moments? Is this what it's all about now?
Yeah, this is fun. I'm excited for Friday. And we put ourselves in a great position. 2 shots at it. What else can you ask for to get into the Final Four? So I'm just excited to see what the building looks like tomorrow. I think it's going to feel as good as it did opening night or better. I'm excited for this weekend.
You going to be watching tonight?
Yeah, of course. There was a few interesting games tonight. So, and unfortunately, I think there's a possibility somebody with a really good record is not going to make it through. So it's going to be interesting tonight. I think always love to see what the ice is doing in the evening when the building's been warmed up all day. There's lots of crowds, so always trying to learn something. But yeah, we'll enjoy a nice dinner, get a little bit of rest, but we'll be keeping an eye on things.
Mike, how much?
Waiting to see who your opponent is, you know?
For me, it's not a big deal because I don't look. My wife tries to say, oh, well, if you go here and do this and that, you might line up. Stop. Just don't even talk to me. I'll just worry about the next game, and that's Quebec. This was last night or this morning. She was talking to me. I was like, Dawn, just I don't. My brain doesn't need to think about those things. Just who's next. And today it was Quebec, so I'm not even. I don't know. I don't think about that. I know some athletes, even on my own team, probably their brains operate in a much different way. I just love finding out like last minute. Okay, this is. I don't know. I just. Not something. I'm not a draw watcher of, oh, we do this, we're line up here. So I don't know. It just puts me at ease just to think about one thing at a time and not get too far ahead of myself.
So would you say your preparation doesn't really change then, no matter who you're going to face?
No, absolutely not. Other than, you have a team meeting before the game, there might be some tendencies in players that we would go up against. There's obviously some amazing players that have really, really great strengths. And maybe if you can design a game plan to try to push to something that they're not as good at. Usually these players at this point in the game are good at everything, but some of them excel at certain types of shots more than others, and you might change your game plan slightly. But really right now I feel like we just got to keep within ourselves and doing our thing for the most part. It's we're not overhauling the wheel the night before the playoffs, right?
Mike, how much does this tournament change now that we're in playoffs, just atmosphere-wise and everything?
It's such an interesting question. I actually felt like opening weekend felt like playoffs. I mean, I was spent after Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so it feels like we're now stepping into that arena, that environment again. So it's kind of interesting in that way. I don't think that's always happened for a Briar for me, but I feel like that felt like playoffs opening weekend. So it's not unfamiliar territory, I think, at least in my mind.
How much do you pull on previous experience being in the playoffs every year into a Briar playoffs? Do you pull some from every year?
I think.
Are they good?
Which one did you go for? Honestly, this team actually has quite a bit of experience, and I think that bodes well. Colton obviously lots of experience. Myself, being in some of these playoff experiences in the Briar and in the Olympic trials, and even Kevin and Dan are under the radar. They're quite wise, and they're really grounded players. So I think despite some of the resumes that we could go up against, ours is really solid. We'll be settled. We'll be ready to handle the moment. So I'm not too worried about that. We've got a really good locker room of guys.
Just as a pro athlete, how much do you relish these opportunities to go up against the best in the world now?
That's, it's funny. Sometimes you're out on tour and you're traveling all over the country and all of a sudden you're in Lloyd and it's minus 40 and you're like, what am I doing here? But it's all part of the journey to get here. And I honestly, I love playing against the best. That's what gets me fired up the most. So it's just, I know I have to do all those other things that, the grassroots, the medium levels to get to the highest level. I have to do that stuff. And so as an athlete, especially where I am at in my career, I honestly, this is the most excited that I get to play, and I think it motivates and drives me.
How hungry are you to make a deep playoff run this year?
I don't know, as hungry as it gets. I don't know. I'm just thinking about those guys eating the ribs over there. But no, I can't imagine being any hungrier than I am. I got a lot to play for. I got 2 little girls that love to inspire. Great family support, great sponsors of our team that allow us to actually go out and do this. And then by extension, my own teammates and their support networks. Like we just have a ton to play for, and it's not just ourselves. Like we're playing for a lot of people behind the scenes too. So, I can't imagine anybody being hungrier than they already are at this moment.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, guys.